Alright, for this screencast, I want to focus on the second type of simple machine, which is a pulley. And for pulley, there's actually two main types. There's something we call a fixed pulley. And an example of that is, let's say we have the ceiling here. The pulley is kind of stuck to the ceiling or stuck there. There's a rope that goes around it attached to a mast. Now, that's a fixed pulley because it cannot move. This pulley here is still, right? Okay. And very simply, for this pulley, the IMA actually is just 1. Okay. And so for a fixed pulley, the IMA is 1. Now the reason for that is if I am pulling down, say on this rope here, obviously the mass will go up, but the only thing that's happening is the direction of the force is changed from kind of pulling to the diagonal here, and the weight, or the mass, sorry, goes up. Now this is with a fixed pulley. Okay, so the IMA is simply 1. Now the other possibility, and we'll spend a little bit more time on this, is a movable pulley. An example of that, let's use a situation here where let's say the rope is fixed to the top here. There's a pulley here, and let's say I'm going to pull up on the rope here. Okay, and this pulley here, just to make it clear, can move. Okay, so for this system here, where the pulley can move, what actually happens is the rope I'm pulling on, say I'm pulling up here with the input force here. What also happens is this actually part also goes up here, right? You can imagine if I'm pulling up on this end here, the pulley is going to move up, so is this kind of rope or cable. So what happens in this situation is, excuse me, the IMA, as we talked about in class, is equal to the number of support ropes. Oops. Sorry. Ropes. And in this case, let me just use red so it's clear, the IMA is equal to 2 because there's one support rope here, one support rope there. Now this kind of situation of a movable pulley also applies when there's a combination. So let's say I've got this system here where let's say there's a fixed pulley at the top here. Let's say there's a movable pulley right here, and that's attached to a mast. Now let's say I've got a cable that kind of goes up through here, it loops down and goes up, and let's say I am actually pulling up here. So it's going to pull up. When I pull up here, this mast is also going to rise, and this also goes up here, and you can kind of see why the IMA for this situation would be there's one rope pulling up here, another rope pulling up here, one pulling up here. So even though my input might be up here, when I'm pulling down, I get 1, 2, 3 times the output. So this IMA is equal to 3. Okay, so for fixed pulleys, the IMA is equal to 1, as you can see up here. So only the direction is changed of the force. For movable pulleys, like this one right here, the IMA is equal to the number of support ropes, so there's 1 and 2. And this one here where there's a combo, oops. So a combination between fixed and movable. So this one is fixed, but this one's movable. I still count the number of support ropes. So the IMA of this one is 1, 2, 3. And there is my IMA for pulley. So nice and simple. And if you want to review this section in your textbook, it's actually quite straightforward. All you have to look at is page 136 and a little bit over onto 137. Okay.